Welcome back to another episode of Back to Basics. Today is going to be going over candlesticks. I know you might have a few questions along the way. Go ahead and feel free to drop those in the chat. If you're watching this later on YouTube, go ahead, leave me some questions and let me know what you'd like to see going forward. This is going to be a beginner's course. I did a video on the trading mindset and trading psychology the first time, and now we're going to be building off of that this time. And this will be going over candle bodies and kind of some candle patterns and things like that, what the information we get from candlesticks are, and why they can be useful in trading, and then how we'll be using them to find other information in later courses. I see a few other people in here. Let me invite you to speak. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and just ask them, and I will answer those there. But as you can see here, I've got candlesticks pulled up for just two pictures of it, where it's showing you both a green candle and a red candle. And I know most of us probably know what the candlestick is for now, and that's for those of you that don't. You have the candle that goes in one direction or another. When you see this green one, you have your opening price is going to be the bottom line of your candle, and you can kind of see it down here. Is going to be the bottom, the opening price of the candle. And you'll see all of this candle body shows the price action going through that through that time period, whether that be the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 4 hour. You get a lot of information. And if you're watching this on a higher term time frame, you can kind of watch that candle body move up and then move down and then move back up as you see price moving within that. And once you get to that top line, that shows you the closing. If you have any prices that are above that closing, they will show up as this either upper wick or shadow, and that shows you the price high of the candle. Same for the bottom end. If you had a price movement going below the opening of that candle price, then that will show you that the bottom low price is that bottom side of the wick. You will also see for the opposite, if price opens up higher and you end up closing lower, you typically get that red candle. I know some people don't go red and green. I go red and green. I like those red and green colors. And it's the same in reverse. The candle body shows you all of the price movement within that set time period. The wick on the top shows you that price high, and the wick on the bottom shows you that price low. And all of these will kind of show you the price action in that time frame. I see username saying, explain what the body is, please. And the body is the prices between your open and close. That makes up your candle body, whereas in the wicks end up making those prices outside of your open and close range. Kind of tells you whether there was a little bit of exhaustion in one direction or the other. Really pushes that price back down into that close range. The bigger the wick on the top side, the bigger the exhaustion on the buying pressure. The bigger the wick on the bottom side, the bigger the exhaustion on the selling pressure. So that's kind of something you can glean from those candles. Let's see. Is there a large wick on the top? Does that mean price will go down? And vice versa, if there's a large wick on the bottom, does that mean price will go up? Sometimes it can, and sometimes it can't. It really just depends on the series of candles, and that is a big part of the whole candle process. I will kind of pull some of that up here. Let me get that next kind of picture I was looking at here. where you can see here is some candlesticks in succession, where we have our green candle going up. You see our nice big wick here, which can kind of indicate that exhaustion, and you do see that price continuing to the downside here. But here on this next green candle, you see lots of selling pressure on this top side wick, trying to push price back down, but with this strong buying pressure down here, really pushing price back up, it does not lead to that continuation to the downside. So it can, when you're in topping instances, lead to that indication of price reversing, going to the downside if it's that large wick on the top side, or going back up if it's the bottom wick being very large on the bottom. But that's normally when you're coming up on resistance areas or support areas, or a psychological level or a fib level, which we will discuss in later videos. So sometimes it can, sometimes it doesn't, but it really just depends on the confluence that you have, which we will build on later on. This is mostly going to be about the candles and sometimes the candle patterns that you see. We do have things like this, where we'll end up getting into this and going into some of the patterns that we'll see in some later ones in more depth. But when you hear terms like bearish, bullish engulfing candles, where the candle preceding that candle engulfs your entire candle. Normally this has no wick on the bottom side, indicating it is all buying pressure, showing for signs of reversal. This is something that happens quite a bit. I use that for entries sometimes. I also use bearish engulfing candles for entries sometimes. You see, this is where you might see that large wick on the top side being that indication of a reversal that you had asked about earlier, Trade Intuition, where you might see this very large wick on the top side after 3 green candles in succession, indicating you might see that price reversal. Same thing in the reverse, where you're seeing large successions of red candles, and you see very hard buying pressure coming in there with that nice green candle. A lot of the times that'll engulf the candle prior to it. Let's see. Ancient Chinese invented them for rice pricing, and we use them worldwide now. Yeah, it's quite a nice way to view price action. It's actually my favorite way because you get more information than just using that line. Quite a fascinating way. There's also Heikin-ashi candles, which takes the price action of the candle before it to decide how that open or close is going to be. So it aggregates some of that price action to smooth the lines out, so you can kind of see if there's some curvature on price action and it's stalling out. You get to see that better with those Heikin-ashi candles. Let's pull up some of the other ones that I was going to take a look at, where you have things like hammer candles. There we go. We'll go with the hammer candle pattern there. And this is normally that indication that you were at Trade Intuition you were asking earlier. When you see that large wick on the downside, you also have this in reverse, which is going to be that reversal kind of signal. It does sometimes indicate that you might be seeing that reversal. It shows a very, very wide price action on either side, but a very small range in which the price moved between open and close. So you saw a lot of battle going on, but that price closed very close to where it opened at. And that not always, but sometimes indicates that reversal. how can I differentiate between similar patterns like hammer versus hanging man or doji versus spinning top? Um, let's. I'm I'm going to be honest. There's a bunch of those names for candlesticks that I don't know. I'm not sure what a hanging man is. Do you know what that one is? Straight intuition? Because honestly, the first time I heard that was today on Alex O Crypto. I can. So basically, the hanging man would be the reversal of your hammer candle. From what I'm hearing there would be the reversal. I see OC guy in here, sir. Aren't you supposed to be prepping for your show? I'm gonna invite you to speak, but I know you're getting ready for a show here in about 15 minutes, right? Oh yeah, we're just going over candlesticks today. So you know, kind of the information you see from candlesticks, how you can build that to kind of see where you might see some price reversals or the kind of candlestick patterns when you get those three nice green candles, which we hadn't gone over just yet, might indicate that you're seeing that price going up to the upside. So let's look at three soldiers candles. We'll pull that up, and I will get that shared with you. There we go. I don't know why it's pulling up candles all the time, but there we go. We got the three soldiers candles, which is normally buying candles, indicating price moving up towards the upside, and this normally precedes large amounts of red candles. You also have the reversal of that, which is the three black crows, which indicates price reversal going towards the downside. Hanging man is a reversal candle. So the same way that that hammer candle is a reversal candle. I'll go over that doji candle here in just a second. I know that was the next part of your question there. I just wanted to touch on this one since we were talking about candlestick patterns and what these can kind of indicate for you. You do see this coming down to resistance here, drawn here. Okay, so it's the same as the hanging man is the same as a hammer candle. It's just red there, indicating that there's a lot of selling pressure on the downside of that large red wick instead of that large green wick on the bottom. So there we go. Different. It's the same pattern. It's just a different color. That makes sense there. That's actually the first time I'd heard that one. You brought up a doji candle, so let me get that one pulled up, and we'll kind of see and explain to people what that means there. And I hear this quite a bit. Username says different but same but different, but still the same. Yeah, it's the same pattern, but very different because of that color, indicating more selling pressure stepping in on that hanging man. Here, he brought up that doji candle, and what you see here is also known as an indecision candle. You have your open extremely close to your close and a giant wick on either side, indicating that there was a lot of price movement within that candle, but there was not a giant difference between the open and the close of the candle, meaning that there was a lot of battle going on between high and low, but it ended up closing close to where it opened, kind of leaving us at an indecision point. Same for the opposite. When you see that red, this kind of just shows you a little bit better there. These are known as indecision candles. we will look at a spinning top real quick. I have not heard that one. Spinning top candlestick. Oh, different, it, different way. I'm guessing to say a doji candle. Uh, it looks like it's exactly the same. So different way to say an indecision candle. Uh, yeah. So there's lots of terms for candles here, and you will see some people use some terms, like I use the doji candle. I'm guessing username has heard a candle that spinning top, which is the same thing, indicating that there's a large battle going on, but price is really indecisive at that point because the open was so close to the close. You might see this coming into play with a nice horizontal price action afterwards, which this one kind of shows you here, where you see this very indecisive candle. Price continues to really move sideways here. It doesn't move too quick. It doesn't move much up. It doesn't move much down there. It is that very indecisive candle. You kind of see that over here as well before you see that nice hammer candle here that pushes price towards the upside. So a lot of these, as you can see on this, a lot of those happen quite quickly. Over here, you see that hammer candle reversals to the downside. This doesn't always happen, but it happens enough that it's something you should pay attention to, especially if you're going to be trading on shorter time frames, or you're looking for where that reversal might be coming in on a swing trade. This is all information to keep in mind, especially as we go forward and we pull in more confluence. So when we get to support and resistance, which is what I was going to be going over next week, we'll kind of tie some of this candlesticks and candle patterns in with those support and resistance lines. Hopefully I can get Tradefly in here for that one, because that man's a beast with support and resistance. We'll kind of see. I'll have to ask him again if he's available. Do we have any other questions on candlesticks here? Let's see. Army told me second day, treat every day like your first. Most definitely. It keeps you with that open mind. That's kind of why I wanted to do this Back to Basic series. We got how do institutional traders, or JR, influence formation of candlestick patterns I see on charts. Actually, that's a decent question, because we do talk about candlestick patterns, and a lot of that is psychology. But the more people talk about these candlestick patterns, the more they kind of end up playing out, because people see them as that psychological thing that is probably going to happen, and it's kind of something that just keeps it going on, where it's like, oh, I see that hammer stick candle, and everyone's like, oh, well, that's that reversal signal, isn't it? And then price reverses, because everyone is seeing that same thing, and they're like, well, price reversal, and then they end up shorting, or they end up buying it up. And so it's that that loop pattern where you heard it, so now I'm going to take that, and everyone else is using that same information, so it keeps proving itself true. Some of it is psychological, because you see that battle on something like a doji candle. Yeah, there we go. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Thank you, JR. It's been a long day, so words be hard sometimes. I'm better in the mornings. Much, much better in the mornings. Yes, the self-fulfilling prophecy. And you see it. It gets talked about a bunch, where we see fib levels. They get talked about a bunch, and it becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone sees that that psychological thing coming in. They've heard about it a bunch, and now you have that candlestick pattern playing on out. That comes the same thing when we dive a little bit deeper into these candlestick patterns. We will get into actual patterns that will be coming on a couple weeks from now, once we get into some support and resistance and psychological levels. We will jump into some actual patterns. I know I use those quite a bit when I'm trading TradFi, not so much when I'm trading crypto. When looking for a trade, do you look at one candles or a series of candles to enter a trade? It really just depends on what kind of trade I'm looking at and what other confluence I have. So say my RSI is kind of overbought and I'm eyeing a short. If I'm seeing this nice strong wick towards the top side, indicating that more of a hammer candle there, I would look for a short. You don't have any preceding price action there. This is a stock, so obviously not the same as crypto. But sometimes I will look at the succession of candles. Sometimes I will look at just that single candle. It also depends on my time frame. So say I'm swing trading, and this 4-hour candle is a hammer candle with a very large body on the bottom. We'll go off of, let's see if we can find a decent one here. That's a doji. Let's price action with a hammer candle. We'll get some up. There we go. Here we got this one pulled up where it's price action with a hammer candle. And you're seeing your RSI is very oversold. You're getting that confluence with some money flow. I might just look at that one single candle on a higher term time frame and be like, I'm entering my swing trade here. Just because I have that other information. And that's something we will get to a little bit later with the other confluence. But yes, I can enter off of just one candle, but it's mainly going to be if I'm trading on a higher time frame. On a shorter term time frame, I want to see that succession of candles because price can move extremely quickly on those short term time frames. And on those short term time frames, you want as much information as you can get. That's that top down will also help you quite a bit there. So I do both. Let's see. I swear there is no daytime where Uncle Jesse lives. Probably for half the year if he lives in the right area. It's kind of like I got a friend in Alaska that only gets daylight like half the year. Why do candlestick patterns trigger stronger emotional responses in an OC guy, leading to self-fulfilling price movement? Oh my goodness. You just having all the fun in here, username. Well, you can ask him that in 2 minutes because he just left and it looks like he'll be going live in 2 minutes. It's forever 2 a.m. at his house. He said he is going to ask him. All right, I will be there for that one. But that's a candlestick question. Candlesticks and triggering emotional responses. A lot of that has more to do with the psychological aspects of it. Like we talked about earlier, that's self-fulfilling prophecy. People see that nice pattern that they think is going to lead to a reversal, and it gets them nice and emotional. So any other questions? If not, I'm going to wind it on down. And I will see y'all at the next one because it's time for OC Guys Show. I'm going to keep these nice and short, go over one specific topic, and kind of let people, can you be my pretend brother? I always need more family, so sure, most definitely JR. But I'm going to try to keep these nice and short, 30 minutes, just hit on one topic and kind of overload some information. If y'all have anything else y'all would like to see going forward, feel free to drop those in the comments if you're on YouTube, or shoot me a message in our Discord, and I will make some future topics. I've got about 15 topics I would like to go over. Support and resistance are going to be the next one. So I will see y'all at the next one.